Good morning to all. Today we are going to enter a colorful, enthusiastic, and different world of fashion on behalf of G. Venkatasammy Naidu College and the Department of Costume Design and Fashion. I welcome you all to this wonderful presentation. Today we are going to see about the content of the course Costume Design and Fashion. Let us see one by one. First, fashion design. Next, we will deal with the textile design, and then we will study with apparel design and computer aided designing. So, what is fashion design? In fashion designing, we are learning with the various elements of fashion like line, shape, color, and texture. And also we will study and we will familiarize with various principles of fashion. So these are the basic concepts we have to familiarize before we are going to enter into the fashion illustration. So in the fashion design, we are mostly concentrating on both theory and also the practical work. See the colorful pictures. At the end of the fashion designing concept, you will all or well versed in drawing a colorful fashion illustration. Next is textile designing. The textile designing subject, we will deal with the fibers, so which is the fundamental unit of textiles. Next we will study about the yarns which is manufactured from the fibers, and the yarns are converted into fabrics. So in case of textile designing, we are studying about the fibers, yarn, fabrics, and various manufacturing process and the properties of these elements. The fiber, yarn, fabrics are the components of textile designing. Next, the apparel designing. We know what are the different apparels available, like kids wear, women's wear, men's wear. In the model of apparel designing, we are teaching the pattern making, drafting, cutting, and sewing practices of various garments like kids wear, women's wear, men's wear. The next module is computer aided designing. The computer software which is used for designing fashion illustrations and also which is used in the industry to manufacture the garment, like pattern making and cutting process. So in the computer aided designing model, we are giving practice on illustration by CAD and also pattern making. Next, we will see about the textile designing. So I have already told the textile designing model contains fiber, yarn, fabric. So first we are going to see about the fibers. So in this fiber to fabric, the objective of the subject fiber to fabric is to introduce the textile fibers and their types and elaborate on the natural fibers and to discuss the properties required for the textile fibers, and also it deals with the various tests carried out for the identification of textile fibers. So what is the outcome of this model, fiber to fabrics? The student know about the fibers and their types, and also they familiarize with the essential and desirable properties of fibers, and they able to identify the types of fibers using various testing procedures. Okay, let us go into the subject. So the first part is textile fiber. So what is textile fiber? It is a fundamental unit of textiles. It is a hair-like short strand. Generally, the general definition of textile fiber as follows, that is, textile fibers or the materials of natural or artificial origin, which can be converted into yarn, fabric for clothing and also for domestic purposes. So here I have listed various types of textile fibers. See, the main classification is natural and man-made fibers. So in natural fiber again classified into three types. One is vegetable, animal and mineral fibers. In case of man-made fiber, the man-made fibers are classified in two types. One is regenerated fiber and synthetic fiber. So the examples of vegetable fiber is cotton, jute, hemp and rame. And also the vegetable fibers, the animal fibers or the examples of animal fibers are silk and wool. And mineral fibers, now these fibers are not more commercial, but some of the examples of mineral fibers are glass, asbestos and metal. And man-made fibers. So what do you mean by man-made fiber? So natural fibers means the fibers which are obtained from the natural resources are known as natural fibers. And man-made fibers means the fibers which are manufactured by using chemicals and machines, which is the raw material of man-made fiber is mostly chemicals. The man-made fibers are again derived into two types. One is regenerated and next one is synthetic. Okay, let us see the details of all the fibers one by one. See some of the pictures I have listed for the classification of textile fibers. See the vegetables fibers are the cotton, jute, the rame. Here I have given the origin of various fibers. In case of animal fiber, silk and wool fiber is also there. And some of the minor hair fiber are also I have listed here. There are camel that is from the skin hair. The camel fibers are manufactured and spider silk. So these are some of the minor hair fibers. And in case of man-made fibers, here I have listed out some of the synthetic fibers like acrylic, polyester, nylon and spandex. And mineral fiber, that is in man-made fiber there are some mineral fibers are there. They are fiberglass and carbon fibers. And here I have illustrated the classification of textile fibers based on the components. Mostly we can say the chemical components of textile fibers. So in this side here I have listed the natural fibers, and in the left side I have listed the manufactured, that is man-made fibers. Here mainly the natural fibers are the chemical constitution is cellulose, protein and mineral. Mostly the natural fibers, in case of vegetable fibers, the main component of vegetable fiber is cellulose, right? And the cellulose fibers again classified based on the part from which the part of the plant from which they are derived. So based on that, bast fibers, leaf fibers and seed hair fibers. And in case of animal fiber, the main component is protein. So I have given the staple fibers and filament fibers. So staple fibers, mostly the hair fibers are all known as staple fibers, and the filament fiber which is obtained from the cocoon, so that is known as silk filament. We can't say it is a fiber because it's a long continuous strand, so it is known as silk filament. And mineral fiber I have already told, but these asbestos fiber is not so commercial because the manufacturing or obtaining the asbestos fiber causes more pollution to the environment. Okay, in case of man-made fibers, here the man-made fibers are mostly organic and inorganic. These are derived into two types. One is organic fibers and inorganic fibers. So in organic category, the other classification is synthetic polymer and natural polymer. So here I have listed most of the synthetic polymers. Okay, and here I have listed out the natural polymer. So what are the names? We have already known that the synthetic polymer is a synthetic fiber, natural polymer is a regenerated fiber. So what is the difference between the synthetic polymer and natural polymer? In case of natural polymer, the raw material is raw material like wood pulp, the pulp which is derived from the plant. Mostly the natural polymers are used and it is combined with chemicals From this composition, the fibers or the filaments are manufactured. In case of synthetic polymer, there is no natural components added, pure chemicals are used. Mostly the byproducts of petroleum byproducts are mostly used as synthetic polymers. Okay, let us go to the next type. Yeah, vegetable fiber. Here we are going to, from this slide, we are going to see about the detailed definitions and examples of fiber classifications. So I'll detail vegetable fibers. Mostly these fibers are derived from the stem, leaf or seed of the plant. So it consists of cellulose in pure form or mixed with various other substances. So example, cotton, jute, linen, hemp. The cotton is a seed hair fiber. Jute, linen, hemp, these are called as the bast fiber. So what do you mean by bast? The stem of the plants, the fibers which are derived from the stem of the plant are known as bast fibers. Okay, next one is animal fiber. So these fibers are obtained from the insect secretion or the skin of the animal. So these are nitrogenous fibers and also contain carbon, hydrogen and also oxygen. So examples are, we have already seen the silk, wool and other hair fibers. So mineral fibers, these fibers are available naturally from some types of rocks. These fibers contain silicate of magnesium, calcium, iron, aluminum and other minerals. Okay, man-made fibers, these are broadly classified into regenerated, synthetic and non-polymer fibers. Regenerated, these fibers produced from the wood pulp or cotton linters. Only modification is done to get the required fiber product. So example, viscose rayon and acetate rayon. So synthetic fibers, these fibers are produced from chemicals by converting them into large molecules which are called linear polymers. The molecules are arranged in parallel lines or rows in the fibers. This arrangement of molecules are called molecular orientation. The properties of the synthetic fiber depend upon the chemical composition and their molecular orientation. Example, polyester, nylon and acrylic. Okay, the next class we will see about the properties of textile fibers. Okay, once again I conclude this session by giving a short recap of this session. So today we have discussed the types of fibers. The fibers are mainly classified into natural fibers and man-made fibers. Natural fibers are again derived into three types: animal fibers, vegetable fibers and mineral fibers. And in case of man-made fibers, these are derived into two types. One is synthetic fibers, another one is regenerated fibers. Okay students, I hope you have understand the fibers and their classification. Now next class we will see with a different topic of properties of textile fibers. Thank you.